like and subscribe. When is sex bad for a guy? I always hear stories about sex being bad for women, but not a lot on the other side. If your partner doesn't show enthusiasm, or seems to be doing it reluctantly just to make you happy, we want you to want it too. If I'm not really into it, but going through the motions, and having a physiological reaction, because I don't want it to turn into a whole OMG are you still attracted to me thing just because I'm tired and or stressed. Dead fish syndrome. If she's just laying there taking it, I'll probably just stop. I have no interest in a corpse. When I lived in Cardiff I dated a Scottish girl. Used to love her Scottish accent, it was a real turn on for me. Unfortunately, she needed Dutch courage before sex, which almost always lead to bad decisions like eating poorly, smoking, generally not caring so much about her hygiene. By the time we'd get to bed after a night out she would stink. Smelly vagina, breath sometimes smelled like manure. And of course, she would want to real close, face to face and breathe all over me up close and personal. Then, after she came, she would want to sleep with her head pressed into my neck. I never slept on those nights. The sex was good when she hadn't been drinking, but when she had been it was pretty rancid. Oh, I can answer this one. When your partner only wants to do it once a month, which leads to only lasting about a minute, and she only wants to do it in the shower, because it's easy cleanup, despite years of me saying shower sex is my least favorite. It's literally not even worth it anymore. When you catch the look in her eye, that she eyes know it feeling it, but says to continue for ourselves. We are in a latrina. Just for our own personal gain it is usually for a moment of intimacy, even if you never see each other again. Lies. All of us men are mindless sex machines. With legs. Hole seeking. Missiles. Everyone knows we don't have the capacity for things like intimacy. /s. Oh boy okay here is a list. Women that just lay there and expect you to do all the work. Women whose blowjobs feel like putting your through a wet cheese grater. Women who are trying to pull your off your body when they give you a hand job. So much God. Tongue. The ones who go on top for 15 seconds then complain their knees hurt, as if I was not just holding a plank in missionary but okay. I met a girl off Tinder who was much less attractive than her photos, however had been a while, and then he poured in a storm as they say. She gave me a toothy painful BJ, breath smelt like. And when she went to get on top she let out a fart on my. I am talking like a gentle breeze on my phallus, whether on purpose as some sort of power move, or accidental will forever be an unanswered question. I somehow still managed to nut, which can only be described as a feat of utter willpower. Fatter sex where, if I could go back in time, I definitely would not have gone ahead. Was so bad, and I felt the immediate need to get tested afterwards. Obligated sex vs sex she desires. If she is having sex with you, because you're her boyfriend and that's what couples ought to do, you might as well pack it in. In contrast if she's having sex with you, because she has a raw, primal need to you it's another world. I had a mate give this girl anal in the dark at a loud party. She asked him to pull out briefly then asked him to resume. He started smelling something foul, when he realized she shat everywhere but wanted him to keep going. Dude just ran. Story is forever in our friend circle folklore. I had a GF who tried to get me to have a three-way, to justify her cheating on me, when we first started dating. In hindsight, I was young and the chances of us working were low, so I definitely should have done it. But in the moment it felt like the right thing to do, was say no and be loyal. Dated a girl who lied to me about being on birth control. Never have I ever yeeted out of a situation as quickly as I did there. When it's forced upon you. That is rape, not sex. When women just lay there and too much teeth during a blowjob, I don't need the skin ripped off my Thank you. Note to self, do not fillet with teeth. I was once with a girl who lay there like a dead fish. The foreplay? The before. She was vocal and seemed into it. Come to the actual penetrative part. Dead fish. You can't push robe. It died right there for me. When your is limp as FCK because you masturbated already 3 times at work. And the post-nut clarity really helps me with my spreadsheets, so I have no idea why my manager made such a big deal of it. Just knock before you come into my cubicle. During sex, do not, I repeat, do not shove your finger up his without both warning and consent. Especially if you have long fingernails. Always expects me to do all the work, just lays there like a dead body, does not tell you what she wants. It is always me trying to figure it out, so much more. Something a little different than all the smelly, dead fish in this thread. I hooked up with a girl, who I'm 90% sure watches way too much porn. She was just wailing on that clip the whole time, trying to move her legs into odd positions, and it just wasn't great. Another thing I'd say, is if I don't have strong enough feelings for her, it just kinda feels like work/exercise at that point. When she starfishes. When she on top and starts getting reckless with the hip angles and your D starts bending. When the stink. When she calls you daddy, that one's probably personal, never understood why guys are into it. When she goes full on starfish. I need input from both sides. Starfish, smelly vagina, talking about other dudes or your previous partners, no sound or talk from her, teeth in oral, having that level of hair growth after a shave, that feels like sandpaper, and being on top so your pelvis and scrotum get skinned, hip movements that bend or push your inward that hurts, refusing to add input especially when asked. Definitely took this question differently from everyone else lol. Everyone is just explaining unsatisfactory sex, and I'm thinking about sex that is literally bad for a man like detrimental to his health. Was gonna say something like, when he is not in the proper emotional headspace, because my GF sex wasn't, and he effectively became addicted to her which led to him being sexually abusive and eventually leading to rape. She was on top in the front seat of my car, we were having fun until her head hit, and broke my nose, blood everywhere. Girls who doesn't move at all. Reluctant or apathetic sex where it is treated like a chore or an inconvenience. I would rather not have sex, than have sex with a partner, who is not in the mood or just laying there. My ex-wife had a low sex drive, and it was almost like one of those sitcoms or old jokes, where the husband only gets laid on his birthday or a special occasion. Conversely, if she was in the mood I had to be ready, and it was a now or never type deal, and contrary to popular belief men don't want to 24/7. It is close to 24/7, but still there are times when we just cold not be bothered. Good sex is when you're both in the mood, and really into it. When it breaks your. When Sheila's doing it to manipulate you. When you don't feel good, while you're doing it, like, it feels like a chore or a duty. When you're down bad, and lowered your standards a little to lower vertical bar. When you really have to poop. Let's take last night. I was on my lady, we were having sex. Her newly trimmed pubes hair poking the out of me. She was into it, we were kissing etc. Then she seems to be getting annoyed. Stops kissing me. Starts squeezing her legs together. Which she later claimed to help her feel more. But the reality is I'm being forced back and out. Then she complained she can't feel as much. Yeah, because your pubes are lie and you are closing your legs and you aren't into it anymore. Then she went to get her vibrator. So we stop having sex, she turned it on. Fine. But the whole thing was stopped. She stopped any display of interest in me. She continues to squeeze her legs together. At that point I'm squeezed out. She is ticked because she can't get her vibrator where she wants it. So I get off of her. She is ticked I stopped. She doesn't even realize I would like to start it up again. But at this point it's too late. She is complaining about this and that. Mood effectively killed. That's how sex is bad. I have had girls who smelled not so clean down under. Ruins the whole experience for me tbh. When there isn't foreplay. Please. I feel like I'm in the minority, but I need foreplay before sex. If I'm on a date, there's gotta be little bits of teases/tension throughout the evening so the anticipation builds and leads to a nice payoff. I've had partners before who didn't listen to communication. Hey, please try not to put your tongue in the hole. Immediately puts her tongue in the hole. Hey, please don't make that choking sound. Continues to make choking sound. Like, do you want me to throw up on you? Sex is a two-way street. I make my best effort to listen to partners, direct instructions, preferences, non-verbal cues, the whole thing. I expect the same in return. The point of sex is for both parties to enjoy it, and if one person isn't enjoying it, then offers an enjoyable alternative. Shouldn't you do the thing they say? Yes. You should, provided it doesn't violate your boundaries. That's the whole point. Habits. Sometimes as little as switching up the angles is enough, make it more exciting. Habits and a refusal to change them can turn sex into white noise. Lack of enthusiasm. Poor experience. Not willing to take instruction. Not willing to learn. Inability to take cues. This one is going to upset a few. Poor muscle control. Women can use their to grip and play, just like I can twitch my when it's inside. This is an extra special skill and you don't just learn it without experience. In short, I have had better sex with women my age than women younger than me. Everybody knows how to grip, it is a muscle. No experience needed to be able to do that. As a single guy, pretty chicks who have coasted off their looks/guys' desire to them are the worst. Most are gonna starfish, or make you do all the work, guess what they want, and blame you if they don't come. In a relationship, duty sex. In both cases I'd rather bait. When it occurs with a family member or animal. When it's non-consensual. I've multiple times now had them grind on top of my like they want the string to pop. Hurts like a mother. But apparently my ouch and do-off face is similar. So they keep going. Prison sex is definitely bad for a guy. You've been visited by the ghost of a very important man. Pay your respects by liking and subscribing, and he'll grant you 3 weeks of good luck.